Strike on New York. What if Germany had succeeded? Europe is burning. Germany is losing ground on the Eastern Front. The Allies are pushing toward the Rhine, but in the shadows, an idea is born, one that could have changed everything. A secret project known as a 9/A10. In Nazi circles, they called it the America rocket. It wasn't fiction. It was a real plan, a two-stage missile capable of reaching the east coast of the United States. Its target, New York City, 5,000 kilometers. The first stage, a massive A-10 booster. The second, a modified V-2 rocket. The launch? Possibly from occupied France or Norway? So the question is, what if Germany had made it in time? What if, in early 1945, they managed just one successful launch? What if a Nazi missile had actually hit New York City? To understand the impact, V-2 carried a 1-ton warhead. The A9/A10 could deliver nearly 3 times as much. A strike on Manhattan, and the heart of America's economic and political power, would become a firestorm. Panic, shock, mobilization. America, once untouchable, suddenly hit at home. This would have been September 11th in 1945. And this wasn't just a theoretical launch. One version of the A9 was designed to be piloted. Yes, with a man inside the rocket. A pilot guiding the final descent, who would die on impact. The world's first strategic suicide mission, 20 years before the Japanese kamikaze. At the time, U.S. intelligence had no clear warning of such a threat, no missile defense, no early detection. The impact would have come without a sound. How would America respond? Not with airstrikes, not with fleets, with the atomic bomb. By March 1945, the Manhattan Project was nearly complete. The bomb was ready. The Trinity test only weeks away. A missile strike on New York would have triggered an immediate nuclear response, not against Japan, but against Germany. Berlin, Hamburg, Munich. Any one of them, ground zero, the first city in human history, erased by a nuclear weapon. And the press, Congress, the American people, they'd demand justice, retribution, total war. The panic might have made Pearl Harbor look small. A new word would have entered our language, megadeath, spoken in the context of Manhattan. But that's only the beginning. Could Germany really pull it off? Was it even possible? That's what we'll uncover in Part 2. Because nothing about this plan was simple. Not the fuel, not the guidance, not the launch. So, could Nazi Germany really have done it? Not on paper, not in theory, but for real. In 1945? Technically, there was a chance, but a slim one. The A9/A10 program was still in its early prototype stage. Its main research site, Peenemünde, had already been bombed. Factories were being moved underground. Fuel was scarce, and most of all, time was running out. Even the V-2 was unreliable. Roughly 1 out of every 4 launches failed. Navigation, crude, ballistic, and imprecise. No targeting, just guesswork. The whole idea wasn't about accuracy, it was about fear. A 9/A10 required special propellants, dual-stage engines, massive launch towers, and it all had to be done while Germany was collapsing. But what if Hitler gave the green light? What if Werner von Braun had been given full control? What if every last drop of steel, fuel, and manpower was funneled into one single launch? It might have worked. One shot, one rocket, one strike on New York. And because guidance was so poor, the Nazis even considered sending a pilot, a man inside the rocket, to steer it, to sacrifice himself, to make sure it hit the target, the first intercontinental suicide weapon, years before kamikaze ever reached American ships. And if that had happened, America wouldn't have waited, not 1 second. They wouldn't bomb Tokyo. They'd bomb Germany. And not with firebombs, not with tanks, with nuclear fire. The most likely target, Hamburg, a port city. a manufacturing hub, densely populated. American planners already had it on their list as a potential atomic target. One bomb, 100,000 dead in a single flash. The Cold War wouldn't start in Berlin. It might not start at all. Because if the U.S. dropped the bomb on Germany, Stalin might never have marched west. There'd be no East Germany, no wall, no Iron Curtain. And it all could have started with one Nazi missile, a desperate shot across the Atlantic. But why did they even consider it? Not for victory, not for strategy, but for symbolism, a way to say, we can reach you. The missile wasn't meant to win, it was meant to terrify, to leave a scar on history, even in defeat. And so we ask, if that rocket had flown, would the world today be the same, or did we miss a far darker version of history? By inches.